So, Larry Briggs, the news has just been announced that Ken Roczen has re-signed with yourselves. Is that I'm sure it's a positive thing for you, but is it a relief for the 2026 season?
Yeah, it's always a little nerve-wracking before the rider signs, and they have so many different options that they can do, and just to have Ken back on the team, we're really happy.
Mm-hmm. He'd mentioned he had options for next year, so was there a bit more negotiating left for him then to get it over the line essentially?
I mean, it's always a lot of negotiating when you're working with a top level rider and trying to get what he needs and the team needs, and kind of getting what everyone actually needs for racing. So it was a bit of work, but the team did a good job and Suzuki did a good job. Everyone came together and made it happen. And
that's including outdoors this year, is it? It's just all of Super Motocross or for next year, sorry?
Yeah, so we're only going to do selected outdoor events. Okay. It's mainly Supercross and the Super Motocross playoffs. Okay. But we are going to do a few outdoor events, probably more of the local West Coast events that wouldn't be so far to drive.
So I remember speaking to you early on in Ken's sort of reunion with Suzuki, and how hard you were working to try and get the bike to suit him, to sort of match his talent and ability level. He's been winning races, he's done so much, and now factory Suzuki seems to be coming on board. How much of a boost for you as a team is that to see factory Suzuki from Japan really sort of take an interest in this program again?
Yeah, I mean, we're super happy that Japan is actually getting involved again. They were out of it for a little bit, so it's going to take them a little bit of time to get up and running and get all the parts built and everything they need. But just their information that they have over the years and everything, like, we're pretty happy just to have them, back at the races and really involved with the team. So I think it's going to be a huge positive.
So have you more a direct line with them over the last few months? Does this come on, and will there be Japanese people at the events in 2026?
Yeah, they've been coming to the events, and we do video meetings every Monday, and so they're really interested in what we're doing, and we kind of had the reins and ran with it for 3 years before they came back. So we're pretty confident in what our program can do. But we're just excited to have them on board, hoping that they can bring that extra percentage that would make the team and the motorcycle better.
So I think you got a factory transmission for this season. Is there parts then that they can develop one-off for Ken? Is that how would there be more testing?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea, is to keep improving the bike. We made some big improvements last year, running a different transmission. From here on out, all the riders will have that factory transmission. So I think it's better for the whole team and all the riders. But Suzuki's making different parts now, parts that they used to make when they were involved more. Mm-hmm. So I think it's only going to get better from here.
And how much has Ken's results and you as a team worked over the last 3 years that he's been with you helped reinvigorate Suzuki just as a brand without Japan being involved, and then attract Japan back in, because SMX is so big now globally?
Yep. So like I said, we kind of had the ball that we had to run with it and keep the Suzuki brand out there and going. So now that Suzuki's more involved, now they're going to bring the information in and help us develop new parts, or anything that we had trouble with, they would really help us with it. So I think overall it's going to be much better for the Suzuki brand.
Does this bring more pressure for you, or does it bring more resources so it's more relaxed from your angle?
It's always more pressure. We're going to have different riders this year, including Ken, and I think the stress level is always high, so it's not that it's going to be more, it's just going to be there. So
there are rumors you might have a GP rider coming over for next summer. Are you able to confirm or deny?
No, I don't know yet. I can't really say.
So just on Ken, you've worked with him now for the 3 years. You've worked with Jeremy McGrath, James Stewart, elite riders before. How does Ken compare in the sort of talent way, and what ways does he work that's unique to him compared to the other guys?
I mean, if you look at the talent, it's Ken's amazing on the motorcycle. I've never seen somebody ride the way he does. And I've worked with some really good guys, and he does some things on the motorcycle that none of those other guys did.
Really?
It's pretty amazing. Yeah. And it, you know, the sport has evolved quite a bit since like Jeremy was racing, and Jeremy was one of the most amazing riders I ever worked with. And then I got to work with Chad Reed, and then James Stewart, and now Ken Roczen. That, you know, they're all kind of independent on how they do it and what they do on the track. But, you know, Ken is an amazing rider and really fun to work with.
You were like a good level, high level pro rider yourself. So those like Roxson, Reed, Stewart, McGrath, what do they have that makes them so good? There's like title contenders every week. What's that wee edge that those like legendary?
I mean, they all have a lot of natural talent, obviously, that they were able to develop their riding skills to the highest level. But it's kind of their confidence, you know, and how they present themselves and carry themselves at the races. And you know, the better the rider, the more confident usually they are. But you know, Ken, very confident on the motorcycle, but he's such a good person off the track too.
Jeremy McGrath, what are your memories of working with him, and what was he seemed from the outside watching videos when I was young that he was able to switch on to race mode but then be really relaxed off it and kind of live a normal life and then switch back and perform at the highest level?
He was just a normal guy, you know. He was just like you and I standing here talking, and you know, he was just mellow and just a good person, so he was fun to work with. You know, that was really my first good rider that I had worked with, and I was so amazed by the way that he carried himself and was with the fans and just the team and everything. Just a normal guy, you know. But when he got that helmet on, he was special. He was a very special guy. So it was more amazing that they could be normal people and be so good on a motorcycle.
And for McGrath, was he doing stuff that would just make your jaw drop, even a test track or a practice session that we didn't even get to see on a race night?
Yeah, it was amazing. Like stuff he would do at the test track, the jumps he would jump, and you know, I remember days with him and Kevin Windham riding at the Yamaha track and jumping these jumps that I'm just like, they're gonna die, you know, and they would make it no problem. And it was really fun. And you know, I raced for a long time, and I learned more in those few years that I worked with Jeremy than I ever knew that even existed in racing. So yeah, the way that they just did their job, you know, and I didn't think that. I was always thinking harder, but they were almost like, you know, they would mellow out and just ride with their skill and not let the pressure get to him. That was probably the biggest thing.
That's what I was going to say, because he was always expected to win. He got to the point where if he didn't win, like 96 Amex and Lewis, that was the story. McGrath didn't win. How did he deal with the pressure of being the guy, coming here like fans all the time and then having to go out and perform? Did you see any stress in him, or?
Once in a while, when the championship was on the line, I think that first year, 98, when we won that Supercross championship, he had a bit of pressure. It was like New Orleans or something. I forget the Supercross that it was, but he knotted up a little bit, you know, and he just rode for the championship, which a lot of guys would throw it away. And, you know, he just kind of, I think he rode in for fourth that night and won the championship. And it was amazing, you know, just to watch him ride and watch him deal with that type of pressure. Like I said, I learned more working with Jeremy than I had over the whole career, my 14 years of racing pro.
From the mental side of how you approach stuff, or just the technical stuff he could do on the bike?
Well, the technical side was really special. You know, like he could do things a lot of guys couldn't do, but the mental side I was more impressed with, of how he carried himself and how he didn't let the pressure get to him. And he would go to the line and just, the gate would drop and he just knew he should be in the lead and he would go right to it, you know. And so it was pretty fun to watch and definitely educational for me.
Chad Reed was known for his mental strength and James Stewart for his like blistering pace, but was James's mental side similar to McGrath, or would he get more nervous and agitated in those high pressure, especially against Rick and Chad?
James was different, you know. He just did it with pure speed and you know, determination. He wanted to win really bad, you know. he would go to the race and he never raced for second place, you know, and that was one thing Jeremy would do. If he wasn't quite the best guy that day, or he had to settle for, he would. James would not. He would go until the wheels fell off, you know. He was an amazing rider and really fun to work with also.
And Chad, was he more like McGrath then, the way he approached everything, or?
A little bit, yeah. Chad was determined, but he would ride in his comfort zone. He wouldn't override the motorcycle. He wouldn't push himself into a danger zone or anything. He would ride to his ability. And I mean, he was on the podium for weeks and weeks and weeks. So, you know, the way he did it was pretty cool. It was a championship machine.
And was he a test rider easy to work with or difficult to work with? He seems very precise and knowledgeable on what he wants and feels. So from your side as a team manager and trying to get him to that perfect position, was that stressful at times?
Yeah, they all need what they need, you know, and they kind of all know what they need with the motorcycle. Chad was pretty direct as far as a test rider and saying, okay, I need to do this, or I need this on my motorcycle, and he would push the team really hard. Right. But I think that's good, you know. Like, I enjoyed that. I enjoy being challenged and the rider wanting something that you might not be able to give them, and you have to work really hard. That was fun to me.
You like that?
Yeah, I did.
So when the switch, I think it went from Chad to James, and that was a bit of animosity with all that, and you were known from the videos that I would have seen, you were really intense and wanted to win as bad as Chad or even Ricky Carmichael. So how was that for you going to James? Did that increase the intensity as your role to try and beat Chad, or were you not thinking it, Chad, James, or anything like that?
Yeah, I didn't really think about it. You know, I just did my job the way I know how to do it, and I'm a bit intense, and I like to win also. I think that's the racer that was in me. So I always got along with the riders really good as far as determination and wanting to win championships. So I think we just fed off each other, and it was good years, fun times.
And Ken seems really relaxed, maybe more like McGrath, where he can just switch.
Yeah.
And then he's obviously hyper intense in the race. But do you think it's good for riders to be able to switch off? He has his hobbies, he's really amiable with the public and all that sort of stuff. And then when it comes to race time, he's...
Yeah, Ken is a special guy. Like, even if the day's not going great, he just says, wait for the race, you know? And even if the heat race doesn't go that good, he's like, oh, it's okay, you know? I don't get points till the main event. So he would wait till the money was on the line, and then he would put it down. So, they're all kind of special in their own way. Ken's is really fun to work with, and he doesn't let all the pressure get to him, and he just kind of waits till the points are on the line, then he really lays it down.
And how much did that, the first win especially, mean to you as a team and you personally to, on a Suzuki, for Roxson to come back, win to Suzuki, and you all be so involved in that process?
That was really cool. You know, I don't think anyone expected him to win again, you know, especially going to Suzuki. They thought, oh yeah, he's just going to run out his career. And then, you know, we were working really hard trying to get the motorcycle the way Ken wanted it.
Yeah.
And once he got that feeling, it was on. So he went to win after we got the motorcycle right. And he told us, I'm going to win.
He was that confident about it?
And he went and won Indy, and we were just like, I was super excited. I was more excited to see Ken Roczen back on the top of the podium and doing what he loves to do, and that's winning races.
So final question, he's known as Kickstart Kenny. I know there've been testing about having the electric start. Is that going to change for 2026, or will he still have a kickstart on the bike?
I mean, we have a unit that's pretty good right now, but it's still not ready to race. So we did a lot of testing a couple weeks ago in Florida, and we got it to a good point, but now it's more just trying to put time on it. And right now it's Kickstart Kenny all the way, and we'll see if that changes.
So there has to be, I presume, a level of endurance testing and
Correct.
that sort of stuff through different rain and heat and all that before you would even dare put it on for like Anaheim or any big supercross race.
The Kickstarter's so reliable. You know what you have, and you know it's going to work and stuff. The electric start would be nice, but at this point we're going racing with the Kickstarter, and we'll see what happens.
Right, Larry, thank you. Thanks for your time.
No